6:03. We're late. Hey, hey. What's happening? Hopefully we're in all the right places. Connected to YouTube, connected to Facebook. Very good. Oh, I almost forgot about my TikTok, folks. Let me... where am I going? TikTok. What am I doing? What's my name? What do they call me? Where do I live? Live and go live. Oh, it still says morning chat. I forgot to change that. Hey, y'all. What's happening? Hey, Angie. How are you? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I don't know how many people we're going to have today because I'm sure some people are hanging out with family, but, you know.
We don't have a can opener,
Oh,
do we?
I don't know why I thought it was going to be like a
I thought so
pop
too.
off. Maybe you can cheat and like, oh man.
Can I? You don't want me to use that fabric, right?
You can if you can use it. Hey y'all, hey. David's still trying to open. Are we gonna do that first or last, babe?
We'll do it first.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go in and get a can opener.
Okay, then let's do that. We'll do that later then.
No, I'll run in right now and do it. It's 1, 2, 3.
What you got? Don't you
I
want
wanna
to say
make
hi
sure
to
that-
everybody first?
There we go. No, you could chat for a minute and I'll be right back.
Oh Lord. Do you even know where one of those is? We thought that we're gonna be able to pop open our bottle of cider, but it has like a little. You guys know.
Can opener has something that'll pop this off.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking my mic with me, so
David
you
is
may
going to
or
go
may
pop
not hear
open the
me.
cider. Just be mindful that you have your mic.
I know you may or may not hear me.
If it shoots you in the eye, don't say a cuss word. Hello, you guys. Good evening, good evening. I'm so happy some of you guys decided to join us. I wasn't sure how many we'd have tonight because it is New Year's Eve. But we weren't going to do nothing anyways. We were just going to be home. I'm still in my pajamas. I have a recycled shirt on, but I have pajama bottoms on. Just being totally transparent. Hey, Peggy, how are you? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, Deb. Hey, Valerie. I hope you guys are ready for the new year. Are you guys ready for the new year? I am.
Yay.
I mean, it's fine. It's coming. We might as well be ready, right? Happy 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I know, right, Chris? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember, every time I hear that, it makes me think of ballroom lessons we had to take in school. Whole nother conversation. But I am ready for 2024. I have so many plans. And so Pamela says she's ready. Happy New Year, Pam. How are you? Memory Williams.
Everybody probably heard
I didn't
me.
realize tomorrow is 1, 2, what, today is 1, 2, 3. Wait.
Today is 1.
12,
It's
31.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
2,
3.
3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So David's insisting on us doing our toast before we go live, before we start our craft tonight. So that's what we're gonna do. So we just have some apple cider, you guys, is what we're drinking tonight. Aw, thank you, Marty. Do you, Peggy? Right? Sorry, we're talking about dance lessons. Did you guys do dance lessons in school, babe?
No, we did not.
Oh.
But I went to a parochial grammar school,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't get sex education till 8th grade. And even then it was, hey, boys, go play softball. and the girls are going to stay in here.
Yeah, we had to listen to that dorky film that didn't really tell us anything, by the way.
I don't want to stress, 8th grade. I imagine most of the girls had already started on the road to womanhood.
By 8th grade.
By 8th grade. 13, 14.
I know. I was late.
Not all.
I was a late bloomer.
Yeah, not all, but some.
Yes. So David's getting situated. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but I asked you guys to bring your beverage so we can toast to a new year, to 2024. Tonight I'm going to be crafting my artwork, and I'm going to put in, y'all, just so we clear, when I say my office, My office is like what, babe? 25% of the living room?
Oh, it's not that big.
Maybe 20% of the living room?
Maybe.
A little space carved out in the living room that I've carved out with like bookshelves. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
I have like a fabulous office, but I do have room to hang artwork.
It's a desk that is separated from the rest of the living room by a half-sized bookshelf behind you.
Yeah, there's actually 2 bookshelves and a lawyer's bookshelf
Yeah.
that I scored that I will never give up.
All right.
But yes, that's so David can walk around in his underwear when I'm on Zoom calls.
I really don't. I need to start doing that.
He really doesn't. He really doesn't. And he says she's glad to be retired. I can only imagine what it was like trying to teach kids about sex ed. Hey, Nana. Grandma Janet, how are you? Hey, Lynn. Happy New Year, you guys.
So, just before we do anything, quick reminder, please share on Facebook, comment, like.
Yes, please and thank you.
Hit one of the emojis. Any one of them's good. And then if you're on
Even
YouTube.
the mad one.
Even the mad one, that's fine. On YouTube, if you would comment, we really would appreciate it, even if it's just to say hi. And subscribe. It really does help.
Yes, thank you. Please and thank you. And if you're here on TikTok, we are going to be crafting in a few minutes, but we're going to do a toast for New Year's Eve first. I love this. I wish I could afford to just drink it, but it's spendy. We're toasting with apple cider tonight. I guess I could have toasted with something a little bit stronger, huh?
Oh, that's fine. I'm ready when you are.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm waiting for you.
I thought you were going to say hi to everybody.
No, do your toast first.
Oh, we're going to do our toast?
Yes.
So, actually, my toast is to you guys. All of you who, I don't know, who hang out with me in all the different places and enjoy my craziness. I'm so grateful. Like, seriously. I do not know. There's very little better than being able to do the thing that you're passionate about every day and to share with people and to encourage and inspire. My word or phrase for this year is glorious purpose. And I'm going to get a little teary because I'm just, that's how I'm made. And when I think about my purpose, we all have a gift, and our gifts, we can wrap them up in different things. So if your gift is connecting people, you might be a matchmaker, or maybe in your professional career, you're like a donor advisor or a resource development person. You're still matching people. Like that's still the basis of your gift, but we use them in different ways. And so I feel like teaching and encouraging is my gift, and you guys bless me with the opportunity to be able to teach and to inspire doing the thing that I absolutely love. And so I am so incredibly thankful for all of you. And I hope you guys are just going to I hope you had a fabulous 2023. And here's a toast to an even better 2024.
There you go.
You don't have anything to add, baby?
Ditto.
If I was fit to just to my nose, y'all, I would not have forgiven him for a very long time.
It is good.
So I love, shouldn't say a name, Martinelli's, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
That's how I've always pronounced it.
Sparkling cider. From U.S. grown fresh apples.
It tastes like biting into a fresh, crisp apple,
It
right?
does. A little more.
Thank you.
We got it open.
I know we gotta drink it because you can't close it. I guess I have a metal wine cork in there.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I want to say we have one from our friend that does wood turning too.
Yes, Karen.
I thought we got one from.
We did. I think we
Karen.
gave that for a gift though. The one I
did
have
we?
is just like metal with rubber gaskets on it.
That's possible.
So let's get down to the business. I guess David's gonna be quiet tonight. We'll see how long that lasts. I do not have a plan, y'all. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I do not have a specific plan. And yes, my table is a mess, but that is what it is. I have pulled out several pieces of decoupage paper. This is the industrial exhibition, which I'm pretty positive that this is the one I'm going to use. but I did pull out the rivets just in case. The rivets the color is a little brighter in this one. This one has more like rusty bits that I think that I'm going to use this one. And I know Halloween is over, but I really want to use this paper. And so I have one of the new Royce stencils. You guys can see that it's loved. And I want to put the small cloche in here. And so I'm going to take something off of this Halloween paper. I want to take this, the heart with the flowers coming out. But we'll see what happens with that. And then I also have the IOD, the Victoria mold is what I'm going to be using. So we'll be playing with resin tonight. I did go through my bins and I was able to pull out some of my letters. So you guys are going to have to help me figure out what I actually still need. And because I want to spell out Gloria's purpose on this piece of artwork. And this is going to hang in my office. Let me show you guys really quickly. Last summer, or this past summer, George and I always pick up frames when I go to the thrift store. It's a bit of a compulsion, kind of like chairs, but that's a whole nother conversation. And so I took all the blah, blah, blah. We went through some of the frames and we made like frames behind them, like, and so now we put it's like a little shelf. And this one is actually made to go this way. I don't know why we did that, but we did. And so on the sides, this magnet is strong. We have holes here on the side where you can put little pegs, and then that way you can put your shelf wherever you want to. So I have one that sits by in my office space, and it sits like this. And so we're gonna work on the piece of artwork that goes inside of it. And the cool thing about these frames is that we did not nail them in. We just got little clips so that we could interchange the art whenever we want to. So like this is what's currently on there. And I did a reel creating this a couple of months ago. I might repost that reel this week. And so this is what's been in there. But now I'm going to turn it over. And tonight we're going to create a new piece of artwork on the back that's going to go in that little frame shelf that sits next to my desk in my office. So that's the plan for tonight. So I know we're doing that. I just don't know what it's going to look like because I really don't have any specific plans about what I'm going to do. I did pull out a few of my favorite transfers. The entomology is probably one that I use more than anything. The Millets Pages is one. It's a second running to the other one. And then, of course, you guys know I love the Franz Botanical with all the ferns. And so I've kind of pulled out some of my favorite things. And we're going to see what happens. I went through my little casting containers. And I also pulled out just whenever I'm pouring resin, if I have extras, I'll just pour them into my molds. And then I just put my castings into like a little bin, and so I can use them later. So I'm not wasting any resin. And I actually had this one in there too. And this one is from the IOD Olive Crest mold. And you guys probably remember this one from last week because when we were making our gifts, I used this to make, this little piece here. And we did that off of this same mold. And so that is the plan. Oh, man.
I'll get it.
Okay, thank you, baby. It's a semi-plan, right? I really don't know what we're going to do. But I thought this crest would be cool. We're going to paint everything. If I put a 24 in there because it's 2024. And then I really do want to use my cloche in some kind of way. So we'll see what happens. But I think what we're going to do... I did think about the order. Let's paint this white really quickly because we're going to be decoupaging this. And then after we get this white, then we will pour the rest of my letters. And you guys can help me figure out what I still need. Because I already know. My brain is going to be like,
All right.
So,
Karen
anyway.
Moyer says she's over at her daughter's Oh, well, had to jump on. Let your daughter watch, too.
Hi, Karen. Her daughter don't want to watch us, baby.
Yes.
Young folks don't want to hang out with us.
Hey, she might learn.
Well, yeah.
You know, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Peggy?
And honestly, I know they think we're just a bunch of crazy old people that are crafting, but like we can help like you guys make beautiful stuff for your home. You can be bougie on a budget.
I have been saying this for a little while. Royce is tired of hearing me. As much as you guys love doing this because it's fun, and I get that, you know, it's what you guys enjoy.
Yes.
For young people who, heck, we just had a long discussion with one of our sons.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to buy a house, but it's going to take him a year to save, minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. He just made the decision. It's not like he's been saving until now.
Well, not like saving for a house saving.
Right. You know, where it's like, all right, we're not doing anything but saving for a house.
Yes.
And I just did a story at work about average rent in Arizona. It's like $1,900. No, that's average mortgage. Average rent was $1,100.
But even $1,900, like, I feel like it was just 3 years ago that you could get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for like $250,000.
Yeah.
I feel like the jump is just so incredible because now I'm seeing listings for like $350,000, $365,000.
So but I was referring to rents.
I know,
and
but
rent
I mean
is $1,100 on average.
On average.
You know, when you're paying $1,100 a month,
How do you save up for a house, especially with that size of a mortgage?
how do you furnish your house?
make
How do
a
you
valid
furnish
point.
your apartment?
Yeah.
Well, one way is, and everybody on here knows it, but young people don't. You go to the thrift store and you upcycle it.
Yes.
You just got to make sure you're looking for good quality material, merchandise, not pressboard and stuff like that.
And the reality is, what you find at the thrift store is going to be a higher quality 99% of the time than what you find at a furniture store.
Oh yeah,
Because that's like guaranteed. You go to the thrift store, you might get some pressed wood, but there's a good chance that you're going to get a solid wood piece of furniture. You go to the thrift store, there's a good chance you're going to get pressed wood, and you might get lucky and get a solid piece of furniture. Know what I mean?
But no, say all that again.
So
if I go
I'm
to the
just
furniture
saying,
store.
you go to the furniture store, right? And there's a 99.95% chance that what you buy is going to be pressed.
Yes, that I agree with.
Right? You go to the thrift store, and there's like a 5% chance that what you buy is
Oh,
gonna be
you said it
pressed
the
wood.
opposite.
Yeah, it's going to be flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you originally said.
Did I say it backwards?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I agree because people are getting rid of their old stuff, and their
Yes,
old stuff
they're-
is the stuff that's built well.
It's built
So-
to last.
Yeah, so young people do it. All right, I got to share this with Ken before I get to other questions.
Okay.
Because Ken is watching with Flea. All right, Ken, I told you before there was a Brazilian G.I. Joe.
Oh, my.
It's from a company, Estrella. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Estrela. It's 12-inch G.I. Joes. I messaged them. They never messaged me back to find out if I could buy in America. I've seen them on eBay, but I don't know if I want to go eBay, and the shipping is really high. I'd rather
Yeah.
buy directly from the company if I'm going to pay that kind of shipping.
Yeah.
I forget what the prices were comparatively. I think they were around $50, somewhere around there. But I found another one. This one is, and I forgot what Estrella's G.I. Joe was called. I forgot what it was called, but estrella.com.br. And the other one I just found was the French version of G.I. Joe. They had the license.
Oh.
They called it Adventure Joe. Is
Adventure
back.
Joe.
Yep, is back, and it's
Ah!
CaptainCosmos.fr, France. But that one you can. They've got a North American hookup.
Mm.
So, and those are selling for 35 to 60 euro. So you're looking at what? 40 to
about 40.
75?
No, about 40 at the exchange
Well,
rate.
to 60 euro. So I'm guessing 60.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not counting shipping. But there's a place that North Americans can buy. So just saying, If somebody wanted to buy something for a birthday.
There's an opportunity to do so.
And the other thing is, the lovely Royce is lighting a fire under me to do a channel. So I think you guys don't have to hear this stuff.
No, I think, baby, you're so knowledgeable about that stuff, and I think you should do it.
So I'm going to.
A YouTube channel.
This may be the last one that you guys hear on here of nonsense.
Oh, they're here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Glorious. Does that have an E on the end? It doesn't, right?
No.
Okay. So, you guys, these letter molds, I love them. When they first came out, I had a love-hate relationship with them. Because if you've ever tried to pour them before, you know that you have to move really slowly. And when you're using casting resin, it cures up really quickly. So the challenge has always been, how do you pour them without getting an overpour? Which, you guys, an overpour is not the end of the world. It's super easy to fix. And how do you pour them quick enough so that it doesn't cure in your cup? So I have two answers for you guys. One is that I use a silicone cup. And it gives me like a lot of control when I'm pouring, because I can just squeeze this part while I'm pouring and it goes exactly where I want. And the other part is, normally I will pour a 20 ml generally, just at least, whenever I'm using resin. But when I'm pouring letters, I want to pour as little as possible into my cup. The reason for that is the thing that makes your resin cures faster is heat. And whether you realize it or not, the resin actually produces its own heat when you add A and B together and that chemical reaction starts. And the more resin you have in your cup, the more heat you're producing. So you can control that by just mixing as little as possible in your cup when you're pouring the letters, so that it's less likely to cure in your cup before you get it poured out. So I just wanted to go over that really quickly and not just start pouring. Oh, man.
Everybody's saying where they're located, and now people are going, oh, I live right by you. It's kind of fun to watch.
I know, right? We should get together and go crafting. Yeah. Or craft, not go crafting.
Who was it? Somebody said, where is it? Oh, Flea says, in Santa Barbara, one of the most expensive places to live, able to save money while working as apartment managers. Oh, yeah, because you get your apartment covered. You just have to be available 24/7. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's. I'm trying to find it. Someone said, maybe it's on YouTube. Yeah, there it is. Lindsay Tyler, average in Massachusetts for a 2-bedroom apartment, $2,400 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and she says it's insane. You're 100% right. I remember moving here, and I paid $450, and I was upset. Because I went from a 2-bedroom, this was right after my divorce. I got a 2-bedroom apartment. I paid $400 a month. I moved here and I got a 1-bedroom for $450, and I was mad.
Yeah, I know.
And now it's
crazy.
Yeah, our son's paying one of the lowest rents.
Yeah.
Around, because he got the apartment 3 years ago.
No, it's been 5 years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because tomorrow turns 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's 5 years, and his landlord has held his rent pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm using aluminite casting resin tonight, you guys, and this one is 10 minutes. I'm trying to think. It's 2 minutes work time, and then 10 minutes for it to demold. So that's what we're working with. This one's a little bit slower, actually, than the one I used to use, which I appreciate because, I will take the extra time. And I'm only going to pour 10 mils. I don't even think I can. I'm going to have to do 20 because my cup doesn't go lower than that. But I think we'll be okay.
So I was looking up something on YouTube yesterday while you were napping with the grandson.
Mm-hmm. Why you got to tell everybody I was napping?
Why? There's nothing wrong with loving a nap. You're the nap queen.
I am. I love a nap.
Yep.
Because I get to nap now. When I was working, there was no naps.
No naps. So, and the grandson, it was time for his nap. He was fading out on my lap. So I was like, you want to go take a nap with Grandma? And he just jumped right up and bam, out.
Yes.
So I was watching something. Some guy went to Metropolis, Illinois. And it was a comic book guy. He wanted to go see Metropolis, Illinois, way south, towards the southern tip of Illinois. Mm-hmm. And they lean into Superman.
Oh, okay.
They have a Superman museum. They do a Superman festival. There's a Comic-Con there. Our friend Kara has gone there and done the convention. She's a cosplayer. She went and did the convention there. And they own it. There's a giant billboard that says, "Welcome to Metropolis" with Superman on it.
Oh.
So they did. So I was like, you know what? I wonder. So I started looking it up. There's not a lot of other cities. So Marvel Comics uses real cities.
Okay.
Spider-Man lives in New York. He's from Queens. Captain America's from Brooklyn. I want to say Brooklyn.
Yes.
Iron Man's in Manhattan. You know.
Where is Batman from? New York?
Batman's from Gotham. Gotham
Well, I
City.
know, but is Gotham
that's
supposed to be New York?
Gotham's supposed to be New York. Metropolis is supposed to be New York back when they didn't interact. And then they did. And they're like, how can there be two pseudo-New Yorks? So now they say Gotham is right across the river in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So, so I guess Gotham would be Long Island City. But, so I decided to look it up. There's a Gotham in America. There's a real Gotham.
Oh.
And it's in Wisconsin. And I don't think they lean into Batman, although I would if I were them, because there's only 70 people in the town.
Oh.
There's also a central city, which is where the Flash lives. And I forgot where that is. I think Arkansas?
This is all for David and Ken, you guys, just so you in case.
No. Just saying. But see, I like that. We talk about this. I talk about this with our chamber all the time, and I do sit on the tourism committee. I'm like, we should be leaning into some things. Every town should.
Into something that's
goes
with your current identity, or
there's some things I think that are just kind of evergreen. So, for example, we have living in our community.
Paul Robinson.
Paul Robinson. He was the last man to win the AFL Rookie of the Year, the American Football League Rookie of the Year, before the AFL and NFL merged. He played.
Can I just tell you, I didn't know anything about that until like way later in life.
Yeah, you knew him as Paul Robinson,
Yeah.
like business owner,
Yeah.
friend of your mom's.
Just Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, he lives here. We should have signs. Paul Robinson.
He would love that.
He really would. So we have from here. He doesn't live here anymore, but he comes back 4 times a year because his parents live here. An MMA fighter, Justin Gagey.
Gagey.
Here's another one, and I'm not LDS, but
Where can I put that?
we had an LDS president that was here.
Oh yeah, that's why I think the temple is here.
Yo, it is.
Because I'm thinking, why would they put a temple in this little bitty town?
Yeah. So I'm sitting there going, why aren't we saying that? I mean, he's passed on. It was,
Yeah.
years ago.
I know, but
Why don't we have big billboards that say the home of Spencer Kimball, the home of Justin Gagey, the home of Paul Robinson? I mean, why not? I don't look. If the Pope grew up here, I'd have a big sign that said the Pope lived here. I don't care what religion you are. I think that's cool.
I think that the issue with that kind of stuff is, Scripture says, I'm not suggesting that any of these guys are prophets, but Scripture says the prophet is less respected in their own home. It's just because we just know them as it's Paul. He used to own the Blue Magic Club. They would have team night, baby. I would be go dancing at the club.
Yeah, and Spencer Kimball, the LDS prophet, I think is what they call the president, owned an insurance company.
Yeah.
Before he was, elevated in the church. I just think if you've got a community like that, if you got something in your community, you lean into it.
I know. I hear what you're saying. I just think we don't see it.
So I think we need a home of Royce Hunt billboard.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Nobody
Kathleen
cares
O'Brien
about that.
Hoovis, Terre Haute, used to have signs all over that said the home of Larry Bird. Yes. I have a friend that lives in Terre Haute. Absolutely.
I'd have a tour.
Yeah.
And this is where Paul Robinson used to have it's a mobile home park now. The club is gone. This is where he used to have the Blue Magic Club. He used to sit right over there. A bus tour, baby, to drive people around town.
Furniture facelift by Kobe. I just got up from a nap. Ready to party in my PJs. There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and start painting these letters, you guys. because I know it's going to take a few coats. I want to do brass, but I want to do like a yellowy brass. So let's see what happens. I may have to do a little alchemy over here to get the color that we want. I'm using, oh, is this one? Oh yeah, it is open. This is Wise Owl's metallic brass paint, or metallic bronze paint, not brass. And I don't know if it's going to be yellow enough, but we're going to see.
Vicky Moore says there's a central city in Kentucky. Maybe that's what I saw. Not Arkansas. It might have been Kentucky.
Oh.
Yeah, I would lean into that, and just why not?
Why not?
Works for Metropolis, Illinois. It's a tiny little town, but, it's the home of Superman. Why not?
You don't say.
I'm the king of giving other people ideas.
Yellow. I know, right? Here's a good idea. Chop, chop, make it happen.
You go do it. I'm fantastic at spending other people's money.
That is not as see, I don't know what color this is. This is what I want, but I don't know how I made it. So let's
Vicky
see if
Moore
we can
says
mix
Louisville
something.
puts up banners for hometown heroes except Muhammad Ali. Why?
Huh.
He at one time the most well-known person in the world. Not in America, not for sports fans. Literally, he was the most well-known. I think Michael Jackson overcame him when they, said who was, the most popular worldwide.
Yes.
But Ali, for a period, he was absolutely the most beloved figure for a good 10 to 15 years. More than any movie star.
I did not know that. Look at you guys. You guys will see this is what happens when you guys aren't looking. Usually I have this all worked out before I come on. And I'm just going to mix in a little of pale gold from Posh. And we're going to see what happens to this paint. I'm contaminating my paint. It's going to be have some pale gold pigment in it.
Yep. Now
I just want it to be a little more yellow.
We got a bunch of Indiana State University alums now meeting up in chat. I went to ISU. I did too.
I love it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so I think that's closer to what I want, right? It's going to be a little bit more yellow. And all I did was just add in some pale gold. We'll go back to that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's perfect.
Yep. Diane Kent, we should lean into hometown of Royce. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. When I had my retreat here, the ladies are so funny. And it says, it's going to sound weird when I say this, probably weird to me. They're just they have no idea who you are. Yeah, they know who I am. I'm Royce.
And Vicky,
we went to school together.
Vicky Moore said Muhammad Ali is an example of a hometown hero, not except. So I misread it. Thank you, Vicky. Diane Kent, so many young folks seem to have the mindset they have to have their own everything, but if they were to share rent utility with someone, they could save a lot toward a house or other big purchase. I agree, but look at their parents and their grandparents. We've talked about this. Most of America, not all, most of America post-World War II could afford a house and a car on a single salary. And it's hard on kids who...
There's an expectation.
Yeah, and they hear from their parents or grandparents who say, well, I put myself through school. Well, yeah, you did, but it was, $2 a credit hour.
Yeah.
Minimum wage literally could pay for your college.
Well, yeah, because Davis talks about how he worked part-time at the radio station and paid his way through college. Mm-hmm. Did you know he used to be a teacher?
Yeah, I could see it.
Huh. But yeah, there's no way. Not in this economy.
Yeah, not anymore. Not with housing prices and.
No.
So I don't blame kids. I never wanted a roommate.
I don't know. Some people like Jordan. He just needs his own place.
Yeah.
He tried living with somebody else. He just couldn't do it.
Heck, you laugh at me because if there's a work thing, and they tell me, okay, you're going to share a hotel room with so and so. Yeah, I'm not going.
He's not doing it, y'all. My husband is a contrarian. Y'all think he's all nice.
I'm not doing it. Look, I am not. I'm not a 14-year-old going to summer camp. I'm a grown man.
You just go ahead and say the whole thing, baby.
That's all right.
You're a whole grown ass man.
Yeah, and no, I'm not sharing a room. I don't have to go. Well, we need you to go. No, I don't. I don't have to go. I did that to a publisher, and he finally said, fine, you get your own room. And then my editor at the time went, and she goes, how did you get your own room? I have to share a room with somebody else. I go, because I told him I wouldn't go without it. She goes, I didn't think of that. I said, well, you should have. He's not sharing a room with somebody.
I think for women, though, I think we're maybe different. What do you guys think? Because I've been on trips, for work, and we bunked. You just chose a person that you wanted to room with, and that was it. When I worked for the state, we used to go to Phoenix for a conference every year. I mean, not Phoenix, Tucson. And I don't know, you just chose who you wanted to room with. Ooh, I think that's a pretty brass color. You guys, can you even see that?
Sue's threat, but the problem, David, is kids think they should have it now, what took parents 20 years to work towards. I'm going to disagree.
Well, I think it depends on what kind of kids we're talking about, right? And where kids are. Because when Jordan left here, he probably thought at 18, was he 18, 19? COVID was Jack's. So he was...
Yeah, he was 19 because he was working at the college.
Yeah, he was working at the college. Yeah. So when Jordan left, I think he thought, or he had an idea in his mind of how things were going to work out, right? Because they don't know yet. But now he's been gone for 2 solid years. He has a whole nother perspective. So I think it depends on where the kids are, kind of in their maturity, how they see that. And then how much time have they really been on their own having to make it work. Because it only takes a couple of years to figure out.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with kids want it now, although my two are two of ours. They roomed together and roomed with 2 other people so that they could get a place.
Oh, yeah. Dom had roommates when he first left.
They got hosed because it was right at the housing crash.
Oh.
And they were paying their rent. They were great renters. But they paid all their bills on time, paid their rent, never were late. Turned out the property owner wasn't paying the mortgage. Yeah. They got foreclosed on and kicked out. Now they're to the point of, I really would rather live alone.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. My disagreement with Sue's is only not every adult worked 20 years for those houses. Like I say, coming out of World War II, there were guys that were getting a house fairly quickly. It was a good time for most of America.
For some of America.
Yeah.
I guess we can say most of America. I mean, because if we look in marginalized communities, we'll see that there was a big disparity in wealth.
Absolutely.
Even then.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people.
Women still couldn't get a bank account by themselves. So they, if you lost your husband, you weren't buying a house. I still have no idea how my mom rented a house. She rented a house until she saved to buy, but she was a single parent.
Yeah. She was a policewoman. I bet your mom was.
That had to be the only reason why, is she had a badge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because she was single and she was able to rent a house.
Yeah.
I bet you she still had to have a man stand up for her.
2 of your S's are upside down. Felice says.
Oh, okay. I'll turn them around. I'm just painting right now.
Cindy Dobson, land for I stress over room sharing. I'm always worried about being in other people's way, and I need time to decompress. I agree.
Oh.
Brenda Adams Farrell, I want to share a room because I'm afraid to stay alone due to 2 home invasions years ago.
Oh my gosh, that would be scary. You guys see how I'm just taking my piece? Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Lord have mercy.
Flea Brown, my parents tell stories of having rent parties. You invited your friends over to hang out, dance, etc. They paid a small fee that would help you cover your rent for that
Girl,
month.
My grandparents would have wait parties where you had to, whatever you paid at the door to get into the party was based on your weight? Serious. Well, if you think about it, it was basically a ladies' night because most of the ladies got in cheaper. So of course the men are going to pay to get in because that's where the ladies are. Oh, my grandmother was a hustler. You think that my entrepreneurial spirit comes from out of nowhere? Mm-mm. My grandmother was serious because my grandmother was a black woman here in this little bitty town who bought a house in the 70s. She was hustling. So I had some overpours that you guys did not see me pick out because I was not in the camera, but I just went in with my little cleaner. You guys, this like this L right here, I can just pull off that extra resin and it's super easy, or I can just pop it off and clip them off with my fussy cut scissors. But these are clay tools. People who do clay use these, but you can get like a whole pack of them for like $7 or $8, and you get like 12 or 13 different ones, and each one is double-sided. I love, love, love having these on my craft table because you guys know we never know. I mean, you just have a lot of different options for what you're going to need. So whenever you're working, you can just reach and grab one, and 80% of the time what I need is I can find on either end of one of these.
Carla Clark, I haven't raised rent on my rental in 8 years.
You're a saint, Carla.
And I hope you have a great renter.
That makes a big difference.
It really does. You have a great renter, and you don't want to raise that. I hope.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Because you want them to stay there because you're gambling when you get somebody new.
Yeah.
A tip on your mold, you guys. I could flip this up and pull this mold out, but my resin is still a little soft. And if I pull it, I am more likely to stretch it or distort the shape. And so I like to put my molds down flat on my surface and roll it back in order to reveal my mold, as opposed to pulling it out, because you can just like gently pull it and it'll come out like this, and you're less likely to have a situation where you've pulled it out and it's all distorted because you stretched it.
Sue's threat, my mom suffered deeply as a widow. Yeah, think about that. I mean, heck, women only got the vote in the 20s. What was it? FDR was the first. I just saw this. FDR was the first president whose mother could vote for him. That wasn't that long ago in the great scheme of things. So
we were talking about this. I think that we see black and white photos and we automatically assume that it must have been like a really long time ago. But remember, David, we were talking about most of the historical images we see are from publications, and they use black and white because it was cheaper. Not necessarily because color wasn't available.
Dreaming Cat Studios, I bought my first house 5 years ago when I was 64. I shared and had roommates and had boyfriends, did live alone until I could afford a down payment.
Yeah.
Diane Kent, they have to remember that it took their parents, grandparents a long while to get there. I just think we need to lower our expectations a bit. I just don't know that it took them a while to get there. Good job.
So
there were good jobs. You know what I mean? Whether you were the janitor of a school or you went to college, you got a livable wage.
I just think, baby, that people's experiences vary vastly depending on where you lived and what your socioeconomic status is. So
Absolutely.
I hear what you're saying.
Absolutely.
But I think that everyone is speaking from their own experience. Their own experiences.
I am speaking generally.
Yeah. And so it may vary some. Because I don't know, if you were raising a family, then because my son is going to be 30, oh Lord, 32?
He's going to be 33 this year.
He'll be 33. And he has a good job, and I would put air quotes up, but you guys can't see me. I mean, he has one of the highest paying jobs in the county.
For someone without an advanced degree.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's not like, he has, but it's weird. It's crazy.
Lindsay Tyler, cost of living compared to the average individual salary today is so much worse today than it was in the 70s, 80s, even 90s. Feel like money went a lot further back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember I was working at McDonald's making $3.85 an hour. But my little studio apartment was only $199 a month. I mean, you know what I mean?
When I
When I
was
was in school.
16, I was making 250 or 275 an hour,
Oh man. Oh, I got a G
working
here.
part-time, living at home. My mother's rule was you have to pay for your car insurance, you have to pay for your gas, any expenses with your vehicle. I didn't have to pay rent or anything. Heck, my car was taken care of. I had a beater,
Yes.
got a $50 junker, just kept it going. I could go out on the weekends with my friends, or the rarest of occasions, like a solar eclipse, I got a date, and could afford to go out, grab a pizza, go see a movie. If we wanted to go do something, I could do that and still had a little money to save.
Yeah, because you were staying with your mom too.
I was staying with my mom, but still, $30 a week went a lot further than
Yeah.
it does today for a 16-year-old working part-time,
Oh yeah.
when gas is, $3 or $4 a gallon.
Can we talk about something like more uplifting?
Let's see. Well, that's what everybody's talking about. It's still good. We're talking about young people taking advantage of the opportunity that upcycling presents.
Yes.
That's what
And you can make it your own. That's my favorite thing.
That's it. Nobody else's apartment, nobody else's bedroom, if you've got roommates, is going to look like yours
Yeah.
if we do that. So I think we got to make it our mission to help these kids.
Because I know that a lot of you come and you watch me make things. You're just like, Lord, have mercy. Because you know what George calls my style? Hannibal Lecter. That's what he says.
Looks like you need one more U, Flea says.
I think you're right, Flea. I was just trying to count right now. I'm going to have to pour another U. But I had to pull that one out first.
Nancy Fortin Picatolo. I hope I said that right. One more O.
Do I need one more O? GLORIO is purpose. Oh, you're right. I do need it. I thought I had two O's. Okay, so I need another U and another O. Thank y'all. Help a sister out.
Lindsay Tyler, one large pizza today is $30.
For real. We went to we went to some fast food place. It was like $28. I was mad. I was like,
the last time we went.
$28.
I think it was Arby's.
What happened to a dollar menu? Discount menu. It's like the $5 menu now.
Yeah, I remember when the kids were young, we used to get 5 RB regulars for $5. Mm-hmm. So we would get like 25 of them.
Oh yeah, because when you have boys, oh my gosh.
I mean, they would eat 3 or 4.
Yes.
But we'd throw the rest in the fridge, and hey, when you're hungry, go grab one, heat it up. Now when it's on sale, it's a 3 for $10, I think.
I don't know, baby. I don't eat those.
Yeah, there is not a bargain to be found.
Of course, so my boys are 11. Well, so my 2 biological boys, we have 4 together.
Yes.
Are 11 years apart, and so when Dom was younger, there was no fast food. Like I made everything. I didn't, because I was.
That's the way it was with David when the oldest, and then by the time David hit high school and Christopher hit middle school, we were in a position where okay, we had bought our house, we were set, 2 good incomes.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say because your boys were closer together.
Yeah.
See, mine were further apart, and so.
He still complains.
Dom is like, oh, it must be nice.
Yeah, he still complains about Jordan, about the youngest.
Must be nice. But at the same time, he's like, Mom, how come you don't make tortillas no more? Because I don't have to. Because I could go buy them. That's why. That wasn't like just, a lovely thing I did. We were struggling. I'm just dry brushing over this black part, you guys. So it's like, I I know my background is going to be dark, and so I want to make sure my elements that I'm putting on top of it are going to stand out. So I'm just going through and kind of painting these. I don't know what I'm going to do with the center though, because I don't think white is going to work necessarily.
Flea Brown, are you going to do an in-person class this year? You previously asked where we would like to travel, so...
I know. So we had originally planned, you guys, to do a retreat in April of 2024, but we have a lot of really exciting things going on the back end of Recycled, and also really scary things for me. But we have some big things coming, and we just need to get those really nailed down before we can do an event like that. And so that's kind of where I am with that. But I do want to do it sometime in I'm thinking I don't know, August?
Now, everybody loses their mind. I was going to say another word. When you say August in Arizona.
We're not going to be outside.
But that's it. People don't realize. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go to Manitoba in January.
I do not want to go to Manitoba in January.
I do.
No.
Yes.
No.
Because
plug your ears, Colleen. Don't listen to him.
You're inside.
I know, but that's different.
And occasionally you have to leave your inside to go to a car that's warm. And it takes you to another place that's warm. It's the same thing in Arizona in August. You leave an air-conditioned wherever, hotel, house, whatever, to get into your air-conditioned car to take you to an air-conditioned building. You're almost never outside. And it's not like you're house painting.
I might be.
You're going to make people pay to come paint our house. That's Royce's retreat. Come paint our house.
We just painted our house.
And pay us.
No, I think August was nice though, because I had my retailers retreat in August.
You did, and you did actually go outside, but it was always in the morning when it was reasonable. It was never too hot. Look, the joke in Arizona is, but it's a dry heat, and everybody comes and says 110 is still 110. But it is different.
It is different. It's a lot different, I promise. I'm going in with this warmer white because I think it'll be more cohesive and harmonious than this kind of a bright white. But I still want to have it stand out from the background, so I don't want to go in with a dark color.
Jane Kilburn, but your nose freezes shut in between going from place to place in Manitoba. Hey, come on now. I grew up in Illinois, went to school in Minnesota. I know cold. It's okay.
When's the last time you've been in that kind of weather?
Literally 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. See, sometimes our memory is distorted.
And we just discussed that. December 23rd was the 30th anniversary of me leaving Illinois for Arizona.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
I need a fine line something.
Paige Komar says, totally late. How did you cast the letters?
We use the mold. What's the name of that mold? With resin.
The letter mold.
We use the Victoria mold from ILD. Oh, I don't know why I put that away because I need to pour some more. What'd you guys say? I needed another U and another O, right? I need a really pointy brush.
Yes. Yeah, John Hindman, thank you. No humidity is so much better than humidity. It's true.
It's true.
100%. It's weird. In August in Arizona, in the morning before noon, you'll get 80, 90 degrees. For the rest of the country, they're already ready to fall over.
Oh, no, 90, that's nice.
90 in Chicago is dangerous.
Because of the humidity.
Because of the humidity. Here, it's pleasant. You cannot imagine. Heck, we get down to 80, people put jackets on.
Y'all hear me whining when it gets down to 50.
Yeah.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, Becky had slipping on ice is dangerous. That I agree with. So that, okay. Manitoba in January. There's an ice issue. We don't have that here in Arizona in August.
So I'm hoping, you guys, that we can. My problem is I'm too optimistic. I always think I can do more time I can do more, and it's going to take me a shorter amount of time than I think. So we are actually restructuring Recycled completely right now. And it's taking a lot of effort and it's taking a lot of time and resources. And so we had to postpone the retreat. I won't say cancel because um, we're postponing the retreat, but I don't want to schedule a date until I get a better idea of how everything is going to kind of lay out for all the other things we have planned. But yes, it will be here in Safford. And we went into the cities and we priced things out. And I just feel like I would have to charge so much more money. And I want you guys to come to Safford too. I want you guys to come see my hometown.
That's
I think
right,
it's
with
special.
the billboard that says "Home of Royce."
There's no billboard, just so we're clear.
You know, the city is taking suggestions of naming things. You could. They're taking, actually today's the deadline to
Oh, is it?
suggest a name for the airport.
Oh, so it's going to be the Recycled Airport?
You could suggest it.
I would rather suggest my granny's name.
Well,
Rosetta High
they want
Airport.
somebody that was part of aviation for the airport.
See?
So I get that. But got a new park coming in.
The Rosetta High Park. I like the sound of that.
And people around here talk really, really good about your grandmother.
I know.
It's shocking to me the number of people that come up and say, "Was Miss Rosetta your grandmother?" It's like, yeah, apparently, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, my grandmother was very busy in civic engagement and community service and volunteering and entrepreneur like no tomorrow. It's all true. And she worked in Head Start for like 20 years. She actually
She started the local Head Start, didn't she?
well, so back then everything was segregated. And so my grandmother worked really hard for there to be a Head Start in Little Hollywood so that people of color could have access to the opportunity. And then as the years went on, of course, the model changed. And when she retired, she was director for. She used to drag me to Tucson all the time to those boring meetings because she wouldn't leave me at home alone with my boy cousins. She didn't trust them. And I'm just going to pour another 20 ml because this cup, the way the measurements are, I can't pour. I mean, I could try to pour less than that, but I couldn't guarantee my measurements were correct. And so you guys help me out now. Tell David what I need. A U and an O, that's all I need, right?
Lisa Vansell had 6 tubes of paint stolen off the porch 2 days ago.
Oh, no. And tubes of paint. So that's acrylic paint, right? Those puppies are not cheap.
And Sheila Teagan asked again, what was the mold called?
This one is called Victoria. It's really pretty. It's almost like a vine, as if the letters were made out of like a vine, like a rose vine. You guys tell me if I forgot anything. An O and a U, right? Is that all I'm pouring?
Oh, Paige Comar, my 14-year-old loved volunteering at the church to give away Santa gifts to kids that were not getting gifts. He was so sweet with those parents and so grateful he had the experience. Yes.
Yes. Y'all look. I don't know if you guys saw my video. My grandmother used to volunteer me for everything. We would, she worked with Special Olympics. And so, you remember Jerry's, what was Jerry's last name? Jerry's Kids?
Oh, yeah, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. And so he would have like a
muscular
bike-a-thon.
dystrophy.
Yes. Bike-a-thon, walk-a-thon,
No,
whatever.
Jerry Lewis was, oh yeah, they
I'm
did.
saying what they did here locally.
Yes, they used to do those things. Yes,
to
he would raise money for MD.
And so that's what I would be doing. Every walk-a-thon, bike-a-thon, dance-a-thon that you can ever imagine, I participated in. And then they were always raising money for Head Start. And so my grandmother would make like burros or tamales, and we'd be selling those on the weekend.
For the rest of the world, a burro is a burrito. FYI.
And let me think, packing food boxes at the old Armory building here in Safford. After Sunday, after church, and we had dinner, my grandmother would pack plates and we'd go deliver it to the shut-ins. Like, I'm telling y'all, Miss Lobella, Miss Rosetta. Drug me everywhere. But it's good.
Dreaming Cat Studio says, do you need another E?
Oh, Lord, I hope not.
Also,
No, there's only one E, right? There's no E at the end of Glorious, right?
no. Glorious, what's your other word?
Purpose.
No, you
So
only
just
need one.
one E.
Yeah, one E.
Why are you scaring me, girl? Yes.
Where was it? I gotta find it. Sorry, I'm going between the two.
Okay, I'm gonna move this
Oh,
stuff
do
up
you
here.
not shake the stuff you're pouring?
Do I not shake it? I don't shake it. Am I supposed to?
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, I noticed you never shake the 2 resin bottles. Is shaking a no-no?
No, I don't think it's, well, I guess if you shook it, it'd probably get bubbles in it. And then you'd be guaranteed bubbles, when you pour your product. But I don't know. I didn't think about it, but I don't, do I?
Okay.
And so these 2 extra pieces that I poured, they'll just go into my little bin. And I'll use those another day. Just make sure wherever you put them that they dry flat.
So, Sheila Teagan asks, is that mold still available? Which brings us to...
Oh, yeah, my website. I believe, yes, it is still available. I do have it. Can you put the link on there for recycles.equa.com?
I can.
I am having an end of the year flash sale until tomorrow. 30% off. The coupon code is capital N, capital Y, 2024. And I just did it from yesterday until today. I held off doing my end of the year flash sale because I didn't want to compete with my retailers. So I know everybody's having their end of the year sale, but I just started mine yesterday. There's a little white showing on this, and even though I'm not going to use it right now, I have paint, so I'm just going to do this real quick. What time is it? It's already 7:05. I haven't even decoupaged yet. Let me clean up my mess so that we can deco our background.
So there you go. Big sale. Take advantage. How much are you doing?
30%. I was going to do 25, and then, so I did the coupon for 25, and then I decided to do 30. So if you guys tried to check out yesterday, I apologize. Somebody brought it to my attention today that it was wrong. Thank you, babe. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I just love dry brushing with metallic. Are you escaping?
No, I'm drinking all of it. So
oh, okay.
You better get some if you want to.
Thank you. You better get some.
Before it all goes away.
I have my tea too. So this one, we're just going to set this aside and let it cure because that's just an extra pour. So whenever that comes out, that's fine.
Okay, you get the
Our letters, you guys will notice this takes forever to set, and it's because there's so little resin in there that it's probably not producing hardly any heat. And so it actually sets up slower than the things that have more resin do. Let me pull you guys back out. And so I was talking, you guys couldn't see. So you guys notice that these are setting up faster. It's because it's a larger volume of resin, and these are still white because it's so little that it actually takes longer. It's kind of crazy. You would think it worked the other way.
Furniture Facelift by Kobe. That's Colleen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or Mike. It could be one or two or both.
1 year on 1 day, Manitoba was colder than Mars.
See? Why you tell me that, Colleen?
If man wants to colonize Mars, they need O2, a parka, a toque, and gloves. Send Manitobans to Mars first.
Okay. See? She's sending me cold. Like, Royce, don't come here in January. It's cold. That's what she just said to me.
Yeah, but every pond is frozen over. You can go play hockey.
That's outside.
Yes, it is.
You just said I wouldn't have to be outside. I don't want to mess up my paint.
You don't have to. I'm just saying you can.
Oh. I thought it was a suggestion. What am I doing? Those letters need to hurry up so I can paint them. Because I do not want to...
Yeah. Oh, somebody said, what are you spelling? Glorious Purpose.
Glorious Purpose. So, do any of you guys watch Loki on the Disney Channel? Probably not, but it's a Marvel show. David doesn't even watch it, and I watch it. But he said he has been burdened with a glorious purpose, and so I was in one of the things that I do to help me in my business is I belong to business groups where we have coaches who've already done what we've done, and they can help us find our way. So we were having a discussion in one of my coaching groups about what our plans are for 2024 and kind of what we hope to accomplish. And we were having a discussion about the importance of purpose. And there was somebody else in there who was a nerd like me. And so we were talking about that quote from Loki. I've been burdened with a glorious purpose.
Jan Kilborn says, what's our weather like tonight? Sheila Teagan says, what's our temperature? It is clear and 51 in our part of Arizona.
And I have my space heater on.
I turn the heat off in the house while we're out here, but I'll turn it on when we get home.
Yes, we're a mess. And yes, we have the heat on. The desert gets cold, though, because we don't have a lot of cloud coverage most of the time. And so any kind of heat, ground heat, it's gone.
Because I get up a little early because my radio show, the last week and a half, it's been in the 30s.
Yeah.
And I go to work. I had to scrape my windshield one morning because of frost. Now, I'm scraping a thin layer of frost. It comes off. It's not like
being in Minnesota.
Yeah, 5 inches of snow and ice that's frozen on there. It's not that bad, but I had to do it. So it's been in the low 30s. Thursday, I think it was 30 when I went to work. So,
I wouldn't know.
And what is the coupon code?
It's capital N as in it's New Year, so NY 2024.
All right.
And I do love having these. This one and the Harper mold are nice because the letters, the 24, the two smaller letters are actually from the Harper mold. And so they're more like a typesetting. These are a lot just like regular clean, no fancy business. But this is the Harper mold. And then this one is the Victoria mold.
Swanky Vintage with Carol. Thank you for mentioning the year-end sale. I just snagged a mold I've been wanting to get. So my procrastination paid off.
Oh.
Good for you.
That's not usually the case, but it's good.
Yeah, Sue Bastin says it's 59 in Southern California.
Oh. Well, Southern California, it's kind of like here. Well, it doesn't get hot, though.
I'm always chilled when I go to San Diego.
San Diego is...
Because it's on the ocean.
I said it depends on where you are in San Diego. Because if you're more inland, it's warmer.
Yeah.
So...
But whenever we would go for Comic-Con, which is in August, it was cool. I always thought it was cool.
But where were you coming from?
Arizona.
Where in Arizona?
Lake Havasu.
Lake Havasu.
In August is 120
That's the
degrees.
devil's armpit.
It really is the hottest. It's the hottest occupied area in North America.
Yeah, it's
actually
hot.
In all of the world except for, I think Dubai got hotter. I think that was the only place that got hotter where people live. The Mojave Desert was hotter, and some unoccupied space in the Middle East is even hotter than that. Mm-hmm. But where people live, the hottest was, I thought Dubai hit like 130, and Lake Havasu hit 128.
No. Now, you guys, these little flutes, because I don't have no champagne flutes. I'm not that fancy. These are my little dollar store flutes. And you guys know I'm going to wash these out and use them for a craft.
Nancy Griffin, my toes are cold here in Illinois.
Let's see. Okay, I think I need one more coat of paint. I'm going to leave this alone, y'all. I can be fiddling forever and never even get to the main part of the project.
Well, let's see. You are at 7:15.
I know. I'm trying. I should have poured those right away before I even started painting, but I didn't.
Sheila T, and it's 37 in Yakima, Washington. But no snow or ice.
So that's good, right? I was looking at my 21 and me, my 23 and me, and I have family in Washington and Oregon on my dad's side. I activated my family tree. I was just curious to see what would fall out.
Colleen says cold winters are warm in Manitoba because they do not have the humidity, the cold version of Arizona, or we're the hot version of Manitoba.
You just told me it was colder than Mars. You can't be backtracking now, Colleen.
Humidity in cold weather goes to the bones. That I agree with. So I lived,
I'm gonna sit that up
I had an
there.
apartment literally on the lake shore in Chicago, and that was a cold winter. And I went to school in Duluth, Minnesota, which is literally on Lake Superior's shore, and that was cold. But still, Flagstaff was the coldest I've ever been because it's so high up.
Yeah.
It was dry, but it was
You
Arctic.
know, Flagstaff was beautiful, but it is so tight. Like, I feel like that whole city just lives in a little tiny space.
I don't want to go back. it was.
It felt claustrophobic. I'm sorry if somebody is here from Flagstaff, but it was so tight.
It was stress-inducing. You could tell that city filled in.
Yes.
And did not do a good job of urban planning at all.
Yeah, it just filled in over time as opposed to.
Yeah.
So I am going to use this decoupage paper because I want these gears right here.
Nancy Griffin. Let's see. Wait. Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis. Illinois here too. I got a heated couch blanket and heated vest for Christmas. But Nancy Griffin says, those things sound so nice. But I've got a dog on my lap. It helps.
The dog works. Oh my gosh. We went to go see the light parade. And you guys know you're sitting on Main Street, right? It's nighttime. I won't complain too loud though because David was over there directing traffic, float traffic at that. But we were sitting there and me and Dominique were fighting over who gets to hold Damar. I was like, he's on my lap. He's like, he's my son. Fine, you win.
And you brought a blanket too.
I did. I brought a couple of blankets and we were dressed warm. But, you know, it's nighttime. Like we said, the desert gets cold at night.
See, I was moving, so I wasn't that bad. It was cold, but it wasn't that bad. Because I was
couldn't
trying
see
not
my
to
breath, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I was trying not to get hit
by
lighted floats.
Don't run over my husband, please.
One came close.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
what has everybody been up to? It's been 2 weeks since we've hung out. Like, I hope everybody had a nice holiday. Is anybody making black-eyed peas? I didn't make any. I'm sure Miss Harper has some, though. I'm going to go to her house tomorrow.
Vicki Moore says 34 in Louisville with a wind chill of 29. Yeah, I do not miss wind chills. And Sue Baston, Flagstaff is so cold. My daughter went to NAU. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I went to NAU for work a couple times. And invariably it was during the winter and I hated it. I went once to broadcast a football game. And I was in a press box and it was cold. And I couldn't imagine being on the sideline.
This is one of my favorite papers. I don't know why I don't use it more often. I'm trying to avoid my paint over here because I'm not ready to clean that off yet. So I'm just going to decoupage this really quickly, you guys. And I'm going to be using Wise Owls. It says matte varnish on here. I'm pretty sure that's what's in there, but it could be 1 hour enamel.
Susan Boehner Whitmore Glazer. When I moved from Florida to Texas.
Oh, Florida.
I laughed when locals complained about the humidity. In Florida,
oh, yeah.
In Florida, when you get out of your air-conditioned car, your glasses fog up.
Oh my goodness.
I've been here in Texas long enough now that I can feel it when it's slightly humid.
Well, all of it's relative, right? Because we had my retailers retreat here in August. And in August here in Arizona, we have the monsoons. So we have like storms that come in every night and dump rain on us. And we Arizonans are not used to that humidity. So we're like, it's really humid in August. But let's see, Michelle Adamus is from...
Carolina?
No.
Virginia?
Virginia. And then Serena is from Florida. And they were just like, it's so dry here. I thought that was funny. Like what?
Brenda Adams Farrell says, trying to order, don't see a place for the discount code.
When you go to checkout, there should be a place. If you don't find it, I will go and send you a screenshot when I go inside. But when you're at your cart to check out, there should be a place where it asks for a code. So I think you may have to push like you're gonna check out, and then it'll ask for the code. If somebody's checked out already, you guys can help me because I don't check out on my own website that often.
Fleet Brown says, I'm going to make gumbo. Had to order file the seasoning from Amazon since no one in Santa Barbara sells it.
Yeah.
And where else?
Really? You couldn't find a good crab boil in Santa Barbara?
Rita Burnett Laws says, bought 8 bundles of collards for someone else to cook.
Oh.
And then she's going to eat them.
That's how you do it. I'm so terrible. I hate washing greens. Like, I'm not even playing. I'm just not going to do it. So at Walmart, they sell bags of greens that are already washed and cut. And those are the ones that I have in my refrigerator and that I will be cooking. Because we still have the bone left over from our ham.
I know.
So I'm going to be using that in my greens.
Can make a sandwich. That's what I do, that chicken.
That chicken messed with your tummy?
It really did.
I'm going to have me a ham sandwich. For Christmas, we had what is that store called, baby?
Honey baked ham?
Honey baked ham store ham. And then we just had some mashed potatoes, greens, and cornbread. I think that's it, right? So, and for our second Christmas, we had
there was something else.
fried chicken from a local deli.
Yeah.
What else? Was there something else?
That was for second Christmas. That was for grandbaby Christmas.
That was for grandbaby Christmas. No, that's all we had, right? I cooked some greens, cornbread, mashed potatoes, and then we had
macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My son is like on this kick about making mac and cheese.
Well, the lady who made the best macaroni and cheese any of us have ever eaten, and that is not an exaggeration, passed away this year.
Yeah.
And took the recipe with her, and we're dying over here. We all want it.
I know. You think that's his way of grieving her loss? Because he's been like super focused on that.
Yeah, because I mean, he grew up with her and her son Mike.
He and Mike grew up together. Yeah,
good friends, and him and Stephen and Mike.
I know Stephen Jones. Sorry, that's how you have to say it, baby.
That's why I said at work, Hope, David Bell.
David Bell.
Maybe just call me Dave if you want. It's okay. David Bell.
Maybe she knows another David.
Her husband's a David.
Oh, see, that's why in her mind, baby, she got to distinguish that y'all can't be living in the same place. You know. So yes, David Bell.
Kathleen Hoovis never made greens. What's the washing process?
It's a pain in the butt. That's what it is. So usually, my grandmother grew her own greens in her garden, and so they're dirty. So you have to rinse them when you pick them outside, and then when you bring them in, you rinse them. My grandmother used to make me put just like a cap full of dishwashing liquid in the greens. But I think she did that to make sure we washed them good enough because, there'd be no bubbles showing.
Did they spray pesticides on the stuff they grew?
No.
Oh.
Oh, no.
And
my grandfather had a refrigerator right over there. It was on its back, and that refrigerator had worms in there.
The compost?
So my grandmother, all the cuttings from the kitchen would go in there, and he would use that compost in the garden to grow. And they did they call it organic now, but my grandparents did everything organically.
Well, that's the reason I would ask. If they use pesticide, a little bit of soap would make sense. You just got to wash it all off.
No, you have to wash it all off. But no, I think she did it to make sure you wash the greens right, because you had to keep on washing until there was no bubbles left.
Oh, gotcha.
But you'd have to wash them over and over again. And some greens are dirtier than other. Like mustards like the collards were probably the easiest because the leaves are flat. The mustard greens are curly, so you have all that dirt gets caught in there. And then the spinach is awful because they are little, they're short, and so whenever they water, all the mud splashes up into the spinach. And the spinach I would always wash the spinach separately from everything else because they would be so dirty. So you're in the sink and you're literally washing them, and then you put them in the other sink, and then you wash out all the dirt, and then you run another thing of water in this sink, and then you wash them again, and you put them all in this sink, and then you rinse all that dirt out, and then you fill this one up. And I'm not even exaggerating. You just keep on doing it till there's no dirt. As a young adult, I remember I had a young man I was trying to impress. It was New Year's Eve, and I cooked, and I made some greens, and I only washed them twice because I was 21 and, I knew everything. Um, and so I cooked them. They were so good. They smelled so good, and they was gritty as all outdoors. So, no, I am not washing them. I'm just buying the ones that are already washed and cut. Although they leave the stem in there. That's the only part that drives me crazy.
Celestine Clark, we add salt to the water when washing them. It helps the dirt fall to the bottom.
Oh, that's a good tip for somebody else, Celestine. I'm not washing no greens.
And Dreaming Cat Studios wants to know who's making black-eyed peas. She always did when growing up.
I love black-eyed peas, and I would make them, but you can't make a little pot. And my husband's not going to eat them, and neither is my son. So I'm hoping my friend Eva makes some. I'm gonna call her tomorrow. Be like, Miss Harper, did you make some black-eyed peas?
And Celestine says you are not exaggerating.
What, with washing the greens?
Yeah.
I know.
So.
It's a pain in the butt. And, usually when we're having greens, it's because we're having family. So you're not just washing a little bit of greens. You're washing a ton of greens.
That was, I think, Dom's first words when he came over was, "You making greens?"
Yes.
So, Dreaming Cat Studio also has beef and sausage stew going in the crock pot. So you are at 724.
I got a new Instapot for Christmas.
Sheila Lemble, I know people who wash theirs in a washing machine.
I've heard that too. I don't know. I wash stuff in the washing machine that I don't want mixed up with my greens.
Pat Reed, with what I hear, can I assume you were raised by your grandmother?
You know what? I wasn't raised by my grandmother, but I did spend a lot of time with my grandmother. My mom and dad divorced when I was 3, I think. And so my mom was a single parent working, and at that time working and going to school to become a nurse. And so I just spent a lot of time in my grandmother's house. And then we had a tradition in our family that the grandkids, we would all come here to Safford during the summer months to spend with our grandparents. So we'd be here all summer. And so I spent a lot of time. And then when I was in the 6th grade, we moved to Safford full time. And my grandmother, look, I'm going to sound real country now, y'all. My grandmother lives in town. And we lived in the county. And so I would rather be here at my grandmother's house because this is where, none of my friends were trying to be out in the country. They didn't want to go out there. So I spent a lot of time here at my grandmother's house. And if you were here, you had to follow her rules, which means no sleeping past 8 o'clock. And you had to get up, and you couldn't just get up and lounge around in your pajamas either. You had to get up and get up, take a shower, get dressed. Because you never know what the day is going to bring. Oh my gosh. My granny.
Lee Brown, Ken grew black-eyed peas this year. He loves them. Not her thing, though.
See? I love them. See, I like, I think it depends because everybody cooks them so different. I like dried peas because it makes this gravy on the black-eyed peas and it just tastes richer. And then you use some kind of smoked meat, of course, to flavor them. I use smoked turkey now instead of the pork and stuff that my parents and grandparents used. But some people make them, if you make them fresh, it's more like a soup. You don't get that thick. It's just, so it's interesting to me.
Rita Burnett Laws, my grandmother used an old roller washing machine. I got my fingers stuck in one of those.
Did you?
Yeah. My grandmother had one of those.
Yeah, my grandmother did too.
But it wasn't a hand crank. It was actually electric.
Oh, really?
I don't know how she got an electric one, but she had one. And I was screwing around as a little kid and got my fingers stuck in it. My grandfather had to unplug it, and had to take the screwdriver, loosen the
you should have
rollers.
just been able to release it, though.
I don't know that you could on this machine.
Oh, because it was electric. That's probably, it probably was cycled, set on a certain cycle. Because the manual ones, ask me how I know.
Because you got your fingers stuck in it?
There's a release lever, that you could.
I don't know, but my grandfather got me out.
Yeah.
So.
I know this sound probably just makes some people's teeth I'm sorry. But this is my favorite way to trim my decoupage projects because it's just perfect and it's quick and easy and I don't have to try to do it perfect. I don't have to try to cut it perfectly and get it on there perfectly. I can just leave a little overlap and it comes off really quickly. And this is probably a smaller what do you call sandpaper? A smaller like
Grit?
yeah. It's backwards because the lower the number, the bigger the grit. So I'm trying to figure out how to say it so it's not confusing. So usually I would use like a 220 grit, but this one is probably like a 180. So you see how fast it's trimming. It's not a big deal because I know that the frame is going to overlap my edges. And so if I score them a little bit, like it's not going to matter.
All right, I'm going to say this because it's a comment.
Yes.
I am not suggesting this.
Oh my.
So I told you I got my fingers stuck in the roller. You said you got your fingers stuck in the roller. Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, my grandma got her boob stuck in hers.
Oh my goodness. That would be so jacked up. That'd be kind of like going to get a mammogram, only worse. Okay.
Sue's Threp. Oh, Dave, my mom warned us to stay away. I guess you mean from the roller? Oh, my mom did too. You know.
But
You know, she also told me not to play with the stove and that stuff. I did all of that. I was
see,
stupid.
I was that kid. Like if my grandmother said that the stove was hot, I was good. I was probably trying to be helpful when I got my finger stuck in the washer.
And I want to stress, I was not washing clothes. I was a child. I was just playing at the washer.
Yeah, you were a man child too. You wasn't washing no clothes.
No.
They probably didn't even expect you to wash clothes.
Becky Head, I got my hand stuck. My brother got it out. It was electric. My mom gave me a glass of wine to drink.
Oh wow. You guys know what? I saw this this meme and I laughed, but it's so true because you'll hear people saying, you know, when I was your age, I was raising kids and keeping the house and doing this and doing that and then they're like, well, I guess if you had real Coke in your Coca-Cola, you probably had the energy to do all that. It's just weird how the perception of controlled substances changed, I guess is my point, over time, right?
There was a photo of me in a diaper and my grandfather holding a glass of beer. He's holding me. He's holding a glass of beer. I'm in his other arm. And there's me with a shot glass full of beer.
Oh my gosh.
And apparently he would do that. So we would watch the ball game together. Have a beer together. I'm in a diaper, so I'm under one.
You were little.
And
drinking beer and watching the game. Is that why you're an old man?
My mother apparently did not like that.
No.
Because I'm assuming he was babysitting.
Oh my gosh.
Meisterbrow.
I don't think David's ever been a child, y'all. I think he's always been an old man. Reading a broadsheet at 9 years old. Did y'all read the newspaper when y'all were 9 years old?
We all did. My whole class did.
I'm just curious of my peoples. How many of you guys read the newspaper when you were 9 years old? No one. I'm just kidding. Maybe Ken did. We don't know.
Sue's Threp. Children love beer.
Ew, I never did.
I'm guessing I did. I don't know. I just always watched ball games with my grandpa.
Yeah, that's probably what it, I mean.
You know, he took me to Wrigley Field. Took me once to Comiskey Park.
No, what's the difference?
Comiskey Park is where the White Sox play, and Wrigley Field is where the Cubs play.
Oh, okay.
And we lived on the northwest side, so it was closer to go to Wrigley Field. Wasn't close, but it was closer.
Closer. Yeah. Everything's relative. And so I'm just going to do a quick paint job on these that I pulled out. And I'm not going to get anywhere near finishing, but I want to finish. Can we go over a little bit, baby?
Sheila T.
Are you ready to go in?
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis read the comics and the horoscopes. You're at 7:32. How about 20 more minutes?
Okay.
All right.
Is that okay with you guys? I'm sorry.
Deb Hatfield started reading the paper at 11. Cinder Lamfer, I definitely did. Peggy Terrell read the funnies.
Well, yeah, I read the funnies, but I wasn't reading like...
Lisa Vansell, we read the newspaper.
Maybe it's me.
Connie Berkram read the green sheet from the Milwaukee Journal.
When you were 9. When I was 9 years old, I was outside on my skateboard, running around the neighborhood.
Nancy Griffin, my 7-year-old grandson, likes to look at the ads and circle the good buys for me.
I was in the store, you guys, and this little boy was in the store with his dad, and they're in the freezer section shopping, and dad is picking up something, and the little boy's like, if mom were here, she wouldn't get that one. She'd get the one that's on sale. What were you going to say, babe?
Cheryl, I gotta get it close. Cheryl Hollander, the funnies use silly putty to transfer them.
Yes, I used to do that, Cheryl. That was fun.
Chris Schmidt, had to read the newspaper for a class, drank beer and wine with grandma and great-grandma all the time.
And see, I would drink coffee. My grandmother would get so mad, but I'd get up early with my grandpa. And I probably had more milk than coffee, but I would drink coffee with my granddad, but never wine.
Karen Moyer, what was the drug in the 60s that was so popular for anxiety?
It was...
Mother's Little Helper.
It was...
what the Rolling Stones called it.
No, it was... oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it right
Because
now.
she said when you said Coke in the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, could you guys imagine?
Coke in the Coca-Cola was like in the first couple of years.
I know.
It wasn't in the 50s.
I know.
There was a lot of sugar in the 50s, but
It's just the whole idea. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
oh, Paige Comar made a paper mache pumpkin with that paper.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, Paige. I actually remember that.
Patty Hogan said made paper hats with the newspaper.
Right? See? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Joan Volkman says the green sheet was the comics section. Okay. I didn't read the journal. I mean, we would grab it if we were up in Wisconsin, but that was it. I didn't read it regularly. It was the Chicago Sun-Times and the Tribune. We'd read the Times in the morning and grab the afternoon edition of the Trib.
See, I don't think he was ever a child, you guys. I think he just came out an
Valium?
adult. Yes, that's what I was trying to think. It's Valium, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. How about this? This is a nice one off topic. Shannon Booth. I lost my smell almost 2 years ago due to COVID. Something seemed weird, and I just realized I can smell. I'm sniffing everything in my house. She's taking meds, steroids, and antibiotics for COVID again, bronchitis. And I think it finally got whatever was swollen. So she's thrilled. That's great.
Girl, I remember when my smell came back, I was a little sad. My boys say I have a nose like a hound dog. I can smell everything, which is not good. I'm just saying, it's not always good. You go to the grocery store and you can smell everything. And so it took me a minute to readjust when my nose started fixing.
You need a You and Glorious.
Oh, I do. Oh, it's wet. That's why it's not there yet. And my O is still wet. Make sure my S's aren't upside down.
I think I'm going to change my radio name to that. Glorious Perp.
Oh my. Are you a perp?
Hi, you doing, everybody? Glorious Perp here. Sheila Lemble, I worked in a pharmacy and the cocaine was removed permanently in the 80s.
See?
Not from Coca-Cola. It was
From the pharmacy.
from the pharmacy.
Okay.
Yeah. Sheila Teagan still doesn't have smell after COVID 2 years ago. Can you taste, though? That was the weirdest thing when we had it, because we both lost our smell, but I didn't lose my taste.
But my taste wasn't right, though.
Pardon?
My taste wasn't right. Mine wasn't.
I eat bland, so. But that's weird, because taste is, what we think of as taste is not really taste, it's smell.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It just tasted weird. I guess because I didn't have the smell to go with the salty and sweet and whatever else receptors we have on our tongues. The human body is pretty miraculous. Okay. So glorious purpose. That's still kind of back in the background, isn't it, you guys?
Yeah, it
You really can't see it. I was hoping
if you go the opposite, if you put it down by the blue.
Maybe I need to. I'm getting paint all on my board.
Kathleen Hoovis said they used to make corn stalks out of the newspaper. You cut them, pulled from the center, and it grew.
Yes, I remember
We didn't do that, but I remember people that did.
Yes. I'm going to have to figure this out. You guys should have had me think about this before I made the decision on where I was going to put my glorious purpose. I guess as long as I can see it when I'm at my desk, that's what's important.
Oh, Joan Volkman, yes, was born and raised in Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee. It's one of my. I love Wisconsin. It's just a great state. But yes, Milwaukee's a great town.
Okay, so I don't know.
Although I read a thing that said Bradley University not considered one of the best places to go, not just because of the expense, because all colleges are expensive now, but because of crime.
Really?
Oh, not Bradley, Marquette. Excuse me. Yeah, Marquette's the one in downtown Milwaukee. Because of the crime, because it's literally in the downtown.
Oh,
so
that
like,
would be kind of scary.
DePaul University, which is on the north side of Chicago, suffers the same thing. Just a lot of crime because it's
by virtue of just
where it's at.
The geography.
Yeah.
I'm debating. I think I should do this. It would be, I mean, I could see that being scary. Because most downtowns are sketchy. Why? Why are downtowns in cities sketchy? Like, I wonder why,
Tends to be more...
More industrial?
No, more multifamily housing.
But why?
Well, because you have limited space, so you want to maximize your revenue. You have more apartments, and when you buy a house, you tend to care more about your surroundings.
There are a lot of houses in downtown Phoenix.
Phoenix is a little different.
But it's still sketchy.
Parts of it. But, especially your eastern and midwestern urban areas. You know what I mean? And let's face it, a lot of people consider it temporary placement, not permanent.
Oh, to live downtown?
Yeah.
Because I always think about young folks who want to live downtown by the bars and the restaurants and stuff. That's what. And so I'm like, then why? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you've also got more people. So if you are a criminal, you've got more picking.
Oh, that's where the good picking is down there.
Well, downtown tends to attract more money.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's all counter. Oh, yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay, sorry. I don't know. To me, it doesn't quite make sense.
I don't totally disagree with you, but yeah, Jenny Marmion, older housing that's run down, more affordable is true. So
because the city generally starts in the middle and spreads out.
Correct. So even though you're still in the city, as you're moving out towards the suburbs, that housing tends to be older. But especially the downtowns are almost all apartments. And when it's an apartment, you don't care about your neighborhood. When it's a house, you do. Hey, we're always looking at the crackheads walking around. We don't have crackheads. Our neighbor calls them crackheads.
Yeah. Tina, she's so terrible. People struggling with addiction, baby.
Yeah, furniture facelift by Kobe. Every city has sketchy areas. It's true.
It
Oh yeah,
is, but I just wonder why it's always the downtown area. I guess that was my question.
and Lisa Vansel, buses and trains.
Oh, that's
That's your
true.
downtown.
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yep.
Um, this is white ink from my live. It's age restricted. What? You probably said something, baby. TikTok said my live is age restricted now. Not that I have kids watching me anyways, but I wonder when
Kathleen
that
Hoovis
showed up.
suggests maybe in a more patina finish for the letters. Maybe.
That's what I was thinking, Kathleen, but I think I want to get them on there first and then maybe go in and add some patina so it can be dripping down a little bit. And maybe I can go in with like a one of Wise Owl's colors is a really pretty light blue, but it looks like copper that's patinaed copper. It's really pretty. So you guys know I'm gonna mess with this some more. And I'm gonna get it done eventually. Let me just one more thing, babe, before we go, okay?
All right, you're at 744.
I am just going to, I want to cut out my close real quick. And I'm using white ink because I didn't want to use black because I wasn't sure how well it would show up on here, although it may have been a better choice considering I'm going to be laying it on black.
Jenny Marmion, I think it's more neighborhood-based. Chicago has very different neighborhoods. I will say this, having grown up there, spent 30 years there, you would be surprised how similar the neighborhoods are. And they're all their own little worlds. You know, you tend not to venture out of your neighborhoods until you get to your early 20s. And then it's, ooh, I want to go where most of the Greek people live, or most of the Jewish people live, or the Indian people, you know, and try those restaurants and that culture. First time I had grape leaves was in an area where there were a lot of Middle Easterners.
Yes.
You do that when you hit your 20s, but you'd be shocked. Like I got a friend that lives on the south side.
South side?
95th Avenue. That's really far south. I lived at 5000 North. So that's a long way.
Okay.
His neighborhood was identical to mine.
Well, that's how Phoenix is now.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you go, like, you remember Denise, my friend Denise, who used to work for Seekas? Mm-hmm. Like, she'll tell you, she seldom leaves her area because everything she needs is there. There's a Target, there's a Walmart, there's a Home Depot, there's a Applebee's. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everything is right there.
Yeah.
And so each of the neighborhood has, like, their own stuff.
Now, when we were growing up, we had our own, like, Dominic's was the grocery store that served primarily the north side. And they had a grocery store that served the south side. But if you walked in them, they're basically the same.
Basically the same thing.
You know, like our Thrifty today is very similar too.
Thrifty's is pretty, I mean, I want, how many,
Or a Piggly Wiggly if you grew up in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
yeah. No, I'm just asking, like, how many independent grocers do you think there are nowadays?
Very few.
I mean, you know, because Thrifty's is, they're an independent grocer.
They are. The Thrifty as a name isn't. There are Thrifties all over, but it's still an independently owned grocery store. A&P, I think, was a big New York grocery chain. I want to say New York, maybe Philly. But our neighborhoods were the same. We had different small differences, but the houses looked the same. The people acted the same. It really didn't matter where you went. I told you about my friend Eddie, black man, went to his neighborhood. Same neighborhood. Just the only difference was I had more white people in my neighborhood. He had more black people.
Yeah.
That was the only difference.
Oh, Lord, I just set my scissors right in that paint. You guys see how big of a messy creator I am? I'm a hot mess.
Susan Boehner Whitmore Glazer, A&P was also in Ohio. We did have one in Chicago as well. It was actually in our neighborhood. That's how I knew. Alpha Beta, I think, is another version of A&P.
When I lived in California, I remember Alpha Beta.
Yeah. And, Jenny Marbian said, The reason you're age restricted, probably the word boobs.
Jenny, always with the boobs, right? He's terrible.
Oh, restricted because of drug references. Felice said that's
Oh.
possible.
You causing problems, David.
No, I didn't say that.
You did say it.
No, you were the one who asked what did in the 60s, what did you give? I said Mother's Little Helper. I went for the Rolling Stones reference. Vicky Moore likes how the 24 pops, though.
Right?
Against
Off of that
light
nice,
background.
the nice creamy white, so it doesn't feel super stark, although I'm probably going to grunge it up a little bit. I'm painting the back of my cloche white so that the dark doesn't show through when I get ready to decoupage it. I should have painted it before I cut it out, though. I always forget to do that.
I had friends that lived in Tinley Park, too, which is even further south. It's the suburb to the south of Chicago.
Suburb to the suburb.
It was actually, when I lived, my first apartment was on the far north side of Chicago. We were literally 5-6 blocks away from the Evanston border, which is the first suburb directly to the north of Chicago. And my friends, my son's godmother, lived in Tinley Park, which is the first suburb to the south of Chicago. Mm-hmm. It was quicker to get to Milwaukee from my place than it was to get to their place.
Oh, wow.
Milwaukee was 60 minutes from where I lived, maybe 70. They were like 2 hours.
Oh, no.
Because there was just no easy way to get there. You had to take
go
surface
through the
streets.
city?
Surface streets.
So it was more about the logistics of getting there
really
than
was.
the distance.
Well, because neither of us were near the highway.
Yeah.
So
Back in the day, I keep referring to Phoenix. I don't know. Back in the day, Phoenix, you had the I-10, but like Grand Avenue was the only fast way to get across town. You've been down Grand Avenue.
Peggy Terrell, she called me out. Somebody said crackheads.
I know. See, thank you, Peggy.
Jenny Marmion, my daughter lives right next to Tinley, New Lenox. I'm trying to think of what the outdoor theater is that's in Tinley Park. I went there. It was a nice facility. I don't know if it's still operating. Saw Steve and Gary there. And Kevin Matthews. Jan Kilborn, do you sell the Posh Chalk Infuser?
I don't sell the infuser. I'm lying to you. I do sell the infuser. I'm trying to think if I have it listed on my website because I have it. I do sell it. I'll have to look and see. Do me a favor and message me because I do have the infuser. I don't know if I have it listed on my website because I'm just a crazy business owner. And
Sue Baston, what's the name of the paper you're using now?
this is called Industrial. Look, I have so many names to remember. What did I do with the paper? This one is the Industrial Exhibition. I don't know why I couldn't remember that one.
Joan Volkman, I lost my ability to smell things over 25 years ago because of having lupus. But during COVID, a few scents started coming back, like bread and musky perfume.
How interesting.
Bread's a great smell.
It really is.
That's a great smell. If I'm only going to get one smell back, bread's pretty good.
Bread's a good one.
Bread is pretty good.
Whenever I smell fresh baked bread, and I'm going to go back to my grandmother, but I think about my granny. She used to bake bread. It would be so good. And you have some fresh apricot preserves and some butter.
I would put bread up there with a good red sauce. A good marinara. There's something about a marinara just simmering, the meatballs in it. That boy,
Because you have all those seasonings.
Yep, it's just there's something about that smell. I can't eat it anymore.
I know.
But
It's
a great smell. World Music Theater, thank you. And it is closed. Oh, now called Credit. Oh, good, not closed.
they changed probably because somebody's sponsoring it or.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everything now is like the.
Susie Caraway, how can you concentrate with all that David chatter? Focus. Yeah, I went to the World Music Theater the day after Janet Jackson was playing there. I was disappointed because I would have gone, but it was too hard to get to it, so we only went once.
Every once in a while.
And I went to go see some radio guys.
Excuse me, you guys. Whenever I lay decoupage over the top of my decoupage, I always seal everything again so that it looks uniform and it doesn't look like I just stuck something on there, if that makes sense. Because if I only would have decoupaged this part, it would have always, the sheen around this area would always be different than the sheen on the rest. And so I like to go over the whole thing again and decoupage. And seal it so that the sheen is uniform.
Luann Vassallo. Now I'm going to ask Luann if this is proper. She says Sunday sauce with fresh bread. 100%.
Oh.
Loved it. When I went over to my uncle's, because my uncle was Italian, he married my aunt, we would get that. Did you guys call it Sunday sauce or Sunday gravy?
Oh.
Because in Italian families that I knew, the red sauce was just
gravy.
It's a gravy.
It's interesting.
We called it sauce, but we weren't Italian.
So we've been watching. We always watch cooking shows, and we go to Portillo's. Is where we go here because that's what's here in Arizona. So David can get his Chicago to have the Italian beef, and we were watching some chefs make Italian beefs, and there was the one you were like, "That is not how you make it."
That's right. No, you do not.
It's interesting to watch people's interpretation of like classical cultural dishes, because it's like, wait, what are you doing? That's not what you do.
And I worked very briefly in a place that did Italian beef. Like I said, I took a piece of my pinky finger off
with one of those
meat
slicers.
Shaving the beef for Italian beef.
Doesn't that sound painful, y'all?
It was.
It was.
Not initially. It was like, I did something, and then it stung.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like when you hit your pinky toe on something.
Yeah. So, but yeah. That's how I learned how to make it.
Oh, man, I tried to cheat, and it's going to cost me now. I'll have to figure it out.
So what are Royce and David doing to celebrate New Year's Eve after the live?
This is our celebration right here, y'all.
Yeah, we're going in. We'll probably I'll make Royce watch Scrubs.
Actually, I like Scrubs. It's funny. Most of the time. Until they get too cringy.
It's a rewatch right now because Reacher hasn't gotten to the end.
Yeah.
Then you're watching it episode by episode. I like to watch it all at once.
I'm not watching Reacher. I'm waiting for you.
I thought you started.
Nope, not the new season. We just watched the last season together. No,
yeah, they're both brown and white gravies. Yes. Oh, Luann says no. From Naples, always called it sauce. The Sicilians, which my uncle was, my son's godfather is, always called it gravy.
So maybe that's the difference.
Maybe it is the difference, but it was Sunday gravy, which is just a red sauce, but it was delicious.
I don't know. Gravy at my house is brown. I remember when I left home and I saw some white gravy, I was like, what the what?
Jenny Marmion, I bet you miss Chicago beef. Yes, I do. I would get a beef probably twice a week when I lived in Chicago. Because there's a beef stand on every corner. Well, no, there's a beef stand on every other corner, and then every other corner from that is a hot dog stand.
Yes. And David, I don't eat hot dogs, y'all. I don't eat bologna either. My bologna has a first name. So, it's Nasty.
Yes.
No bologna for me and no hot dogs. I'm good.
Kathy, is it Lutie? The Reacher series is amazing. That actor is Reacher. We watched the first season. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, no spoilers, Kathy.
Yeah, want to see the second season. Just want to do the whole thing at once.
David likes to binge watch.
I do. I've gotten to that point. But to prove how good that actor is, if you want to see him do something completely different, watch Blue Mountain State, which is coarse and rude and sexist. Is it
an old show?
Maybe 10 years.
Oh, so they don't do really cool.
He plays a college football player, and he's a complete jerk in it.
Oh.
And stupid and silly. And you would look at this and go, that can't be the same guy, other than he looks exactly the same.
Oh. So he's a good actor.
Shows his range.
Yes. You guys, this piece of art is going to be perfect for my little office area. I am so happy. Sorry. I shouldn't be so happy with myself, but one of the reasons why I absolutely enjoy this is because we get to do the things, all the elements that make up our own individual voices. We get to make stuff that's totally us for our homes. And
Once
it doesn't
again, what's
have
that paper name?
This is Industrial Industrial Exhibition.
And what's the name of your casting resin?
The casting resin is aluminite, and this is a big bottle. They come in small 8-ounce bottles too, but it's actually, when you go to look for it, it's not called aluminite. Aluminite is like the manufacturer name, but it's called, somebody help me. What's it called when you get the 8-ounce bottles? Because it's not called aluminite. There's some bottles right there, baby. You see that bottle with the red label on it?
Yes, I do.
Can you see what it says? Oh, you can't see what it says, huh? Because that's one of the smaller ones. It's going to have like the other name on it that you'll find it if you go look for
Jenny
it.
Marmion says, have you ever had an all-beef Chicago hot dog?
Oh, no, that one's a big bottle too. I thought there were some small bottles over there.
Yeah, Vienna beef. We used to go to the actual, I don't know if it was the factory or the packaging plant, but it was on Elston Avenue, and we would get a bag of hot dogs. Literally, they would just...
A bag?
Yeah.
That
Take a
just don't-
plastic
that's not
bag,
right.
and they would fill it with hot dogs. So we'd come home with a sack of hot dogs and throw them in the freezer, fridge.
That does not sound right.
Oh, they were great.
Ugh, no.
Fast casting resin? Fast
Yes.
cast? Or
It's not
American
fast
casting?
cast. No.
Amazing casting.
Amazing casting resin. Yes. Sorry.
I'm going through all the different posts. So
Oh, okay. Yes. Amazing casting resin is what you'll find it under. And make sure you get the casting resin, because they do have the epoxy resin, which takes like 12 hours to cure. Don't get that one.
Oh.
You want the casting resin.
what's the name of the paper for the cloche?
This one was from, I want to say this was a dress form project blocks. And this one you get, I probably butchered it. You get several different designs in this one, including you get a white dress form with black writing, and you get this black dress form with white writing, and then you get these supplementary pieces too. So this one is the dress form project blocks is the name of this one. This is actually one of my favorites. It has like all my favorite stuff on it.
And Jenny Marmion says Garrett's popcorn. Is that the one that you mix the cheddar and the caramel together?
You don't say.
I
need something right here, don't I? Or maybe not. I feel like the frame is going to be covered somewhat, which is why I'm trying to stay away from my edges, because I know when it goes in there, it's going to be covered up. But I feel like because I had to pull these so low so you can see them, that this top part is just empty. But maybe it's okay. Maybe.
Jenny says yes, Chicago blend. I never had it, believe it or not, because they were only downtown, and I didn't work downtown until my 20s.
Oh.
And by then I wasn't focused on popcorn.
No.
I just
What were you focused on, baby?
trying to get girls and failing miserably. No, that's when I was dating that one bartender.
Oh.
So
I think that's it. I think that's as far as I can get tonight. But what do you guys think? And so this will go in my frame. I was going to take a picture of my frame, but the lighting in that corner is not the best for photography. It's good for me, but it's all direct light because I'm blind and I have to have all my light pointing at my desk. But I don't have like really good ambient lighting over there. But I think tomorrow when the sunlight is coming in, I can get a picture. That way I can show you guys a picture of it. So the 24 is just for 2024 glorious purpose. This will go by my, don't I need a P on purpose? Oh, I need an E on purpose. So I can put this.
Porpoise.
I want a glorious
Glorious
porpoise.
dolphin.
But yeah, that way it's just a reminder. Whenever I have my word for the year, I like to display it somewhere because there'll be times when I'm probably frustrated and I want things to go faster. Or if you're like shooting for something really big, it can be scary. And sometimes it causes us to procrastinate or to hesitate. And so having visual reminders of like just what your goals are for the year is really helpful for me. And so this will go in my office space. So when I'm ready to just, have a day or have a moment, I can just remember that it's all for a glorious purpose.
All right, I am kicking you off because it has been 2 hours.
Okay, we're leaving you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And again, see, I was going to do a toast at the end of the night, but it's okay.
You can do a toast.
I'll do a toast. Did you drank all the stuff, didn't
I
you?
drank most of it, but I got a little bit left for you.
Oh, you're so nice. Because there's probably people who weren't here in the beginning. There are probably people who left early too. Or they left already. So, just another toast to you guys. Here is to 2024 and for all of us for our glorious purpose in next year. You guys have a happy new year and